Driftwood amplifiers, Purple Nightmare signature EL34 power amp section. So a good old Marshall, a British bite. 2 channels, 2 master volumes, couple of different modes on each channel, effect loop, built-in tube screamer, which is great. So everything is controllable via the foot switch. So there's your channel switch. Channel 1, which is kind of clean or plexi-ish crunchy. Channel 2, which kind of continues from that and goes into serious high gain. Loop on off. I have a Bass DD3 delay in the loop. And there's also a 9-volt, power to the pedal, which is really handy. So that's controllable. Master volume 2, so you can add just a volume boost for your leads in a live situation. And it's a separate control here. Tube screamer, off, on, and then a global mute. Like that. Pretty damn awesome, I must say. And both channels have your basic, really much like a Marshall stack. I'm gonna actually compare it to my JCM800 2203 from '85, also known as the little brother. It's very similar. This was like coming home to me. Volume, that's just a volume, so you can balance the volume levels from between the 2 channels. Bass, mids, and the mids are actually mid-mids, kind of like Marshall mids. Not, for example, like on 5150 or SLO, probably there you can see, where the mids actually control more of the lower mids. But this controls a lot similarly voiced than a Marshall. And yeah, there's also a noise gate, which I'm having now, just barely on. And the amp is dead quiet. I mean, it's really quiet even without the noise gate. Treble, very much like a Marshall treble, kind of upper mid bite. And then gain, which is like a preamp volume on 800 on Marshall. A lot more gain on tap. The tube screamer, I use a volume tone gain. I have said this like I usually set my screamer. So the gain is barely on. The volume is 2 o'clock. I usually have it between 2 or 4 o'clock, depending how much I need to boost with 800s. I usually have it louder because they don't have that much gain, So I need to kind of push the amp a little bit harder to saturate the tubes. But this one I felt like just a tiny bit, so basically just tiny. The tone is center noon. The second channel has, let's take the tube screamer off. The second channel has a high and low gain mode. Now I'm on the high gain mode and the gain is 1 o'clock. When I engage the tube screamer, it's just to tighten it up and kind of add this, and it goes from and it's still dead quiet, and the noise gate is barely on. And then the low mode. This is kind of like your typical 800. If I add Bass SD1 to here. It's like my 800s. But then you have the option to go higher. I feel like 1 o'clock-ish is kind of the sweet spot for me. It also feels the channel a little bit, it feels a little bit more modern. I guess there is an extra preamp tube stage involved, so it's a little bit more compressed. I use this channel on the song you heard on the intro. I was filming myself when I filmed the recorded the left rhythm guitar and the lead, and then I just doubled the right guitar afterwards. As you could probably hear in the intro and the ending, I didn't, you know, it was approximately the same. That's the whole idea of doubling. You know, you get a wider stereo picture. So yeah, high gain mode, lots of gain. And there's bright switch, 3 position. I had it on position 1, which makes this a little bit brighter with a 0. Here I feel it's more like a Friedman, kinda Friedman style, so a little bit smoother. And then 1. It adds this nice bite that my 800 has. And then the position 2. It adds even more. This is a bit too much for these pickups. The pickups are Duncan distortions. Actually, let's go through the signal chain now. So the guitar is ESP M1 custom from '87 with Duncan distortion and Duncan hot stack single coil, I think. In E flat tuning and drop tuning, you know, from that. Then into the pedal board, but I didn't use anything. Then into the KHE amp switcher, into the amps, and from KHE to my oversized Mesa Boogie cabinet with V30s and Eminence Carnivores. I'm miking one of the V30s now with the SM57 and Royer 121. The Royer is ever so slightly blended in, as you can see from my mix 2:1. So both of those are going to SSL preamps. Then from those preamps goes to the mix 1, and then I blend it, and then when I record, it's only on, everything is, both mics are on a single track. Easy peasy. Well, that's the signal chain. So yeah, with these pickups, these are ceramic, pretty much like a passive equivalent to MG81 to me. So I felt the bright 2 was a little bit too much, the 0 was a little bit too smooth, the bright 1 was just like coming home. Cool. And then the clean channel, if we switch to that, there's 2 modes. Let's put this off. This is like basically your crystal clean. And then when you add this mode, it changes the voicing a little bit, and also it becomes a tiny bit more aggressive. And the feel is a little bit more compressed compared to kind of smoother. And then when I crank the gain, you get this nice. This mode on kind of adds more mid quark. Kind of plexish vibe with the mode on, really cool. And then let's go back to the channel 2, and there you have a rumble and sharpness. The rumble is kind of what you have a resonance control on the 5150, so it's lows. It's not like the depth on Soldano, where the depth basically controls lower mids, and that's kind of like if you can't crank the master, so you lose a little bit of the low mid punch. You can add that with the Soldano with the depth. I usually have the depth like barely on because I'm playing pretty loud, so I don't really need it. But this is more like a resonance on 50, so you get the rumble. So let me show you. Off. To have it just a little bit to add, so it's 10 o'clock. The sharp is presence, And then there's three different voicings. I'm having it now on the voicing 1. So the voicing 2 is like you're stuck. The voicing 2, it adds a tiny bit more sizzle. It's named sizzle. And the voicing 2 adds even more sizzle. So I kind of like it. Again, this 0 position, kind of smoother Friedman style. Then just a little bit of that sizzle. What I love about 800s, I call it high silver, because to me it's silver. I'm adding more silver, more polish to the sound. The second sizzle, again with the darker pickups, could work fine. With these pickups, I like the sizzle 1, and that's really it. Like amazing. And yeah, the loop. So let's put the GS on. It's a tube buffered loop. It's a really good loop. I usually don't care effect loops that much. I usually don't have anything in there. Like the delays, I didn't use the delay when I recorded. I'm always adding those in the mix, like blended in, and then you get the stereo delay. But this is just your DD3 delay. The settings you can see from the picture. You can obviously add more with the level. The loop is really good. Usually there's always, to me, I find there's something strange. It changes the sound, or it's just, but this loop is, you know, works like a charm. Great effect loop. So yeah, now, well, I almost said conclusion, but no, let's compare it to the 800. So this is, like I said, from 85, it has EL34s, and without anything, it sounds like this. You know, 800, great sound, but for a, you know, you kind of need, or at least I kind of need, a little bit of Buzz SD1. So. What a great amp. Okay, then the Purple Nightmare, Tube Screamer on. The Tube Screamer adds a little bit of that whack, but now let's compare this one with the SD. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more rumble and low end because SD will cut that more. I'm gonna back up the gain because SD will add how I've said it. It will add more. So now first the 800, then the Driftwood with SD1. Okay, I need to back up the presence a little bit, add a tiny bit more button. Tube Screamer is great, but I just love SD1s with Marshalls and with this one, because this is basically a hot-rodded Marshall with much more, very simple to use. Okay, once more, 800 SD1. Then put the low channel gain up. Now this is like JCM800, at least mine. I could probably make them sound exactly like that, but you get the idea. Conclusion. What an awesome amp. Thank you, Marek from Driftwood Amps. Marek contacted me a while ago and asked if I would be interested in checking out this one because he thinks that I could like this since it's EL34's, kind of like your hardware Marshall. I said, yeah, send it to me, I'll check it out. It's awesome. It's beautiful as F. And the options, it's really simple. I didn't get the manual, but there was no need because it's, even though there's quite a few controls, but it's really self-explanatory. Sizzle adds more sizzle to the power amp. Gain, high, low, almost like high-low inputs on 800, but there's more. Bright, so you can make the high gain channel brighter or darker or neutral. You can do that with 800, it is what it is. The clean channel has two different modes, voiced a little bit differently. Yeah, it's great. The knobs are really close, at least to me, like the tone stack on a Marshall. And built-in Tube Screamer. So if you're a fan of a Tube Screamer, great. This amp would be perfect if this would be Bus SD1. Then I would have not need, I mean, the Screamer is great. I think SD1 with this amp is greater. Well, I know it's better, but yeah, you get the point. Anyway, What an awesome man. Thank you, Marek, for sending this to me for me to check it out. Links to Driftwood's website in the description below. And it's a custom shop. They hand built these from the best parts, so you can basically orders yours, whatever you want, different front panel, different colored knobs and different features, whatnots. But check out the website. There's more info. Now you know how it sounds, and it sounds great. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you found this interesting and informative as always. Until next time, take care. Bye.